This is Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast.
Did you guys see this? This is unbelievable.
What is that all about, Kinger?
Get in here for the real thing.
Like, let's get weird.
Maybe I blacked out trying to figure out what was going on.
Doubt, worry, fear, because that's what we're breaking the mold on here.
Welcome to Wild on 7th, presented by Pilot Games. We're here until it's here.
Welcome back to Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast, presented by our friends Pilot Games. Again, whenever you're out having a good time on the town, you stop into your favorite joint, grab one of their tablets, play their games. You have a chance to win some serious dough. Your community wins. It's a win-win-win, Kinger. Pilot Games, again, thanks for the support. But you know who needs some support right now, Kinger? Feels like the Wild do, because after going 10-0-2, what are they, 1-2-1 in their last four now?
Yeah, it's we haven't been singing Noel in December yet. We got a couple L's in a row, actually, which has been bit of a bummer. We wanted 6 points from the road trip. We're not going to get that. I will say, I thought that was a little aggressive on your part, a little greedy. If we get 4, win in regulation against Seattle tonight, I'm fine. Split on the road, win at home. That's the old time recipe, Carter. That's how they used to do it back in the 75-year patch days when you were playing. Split on the road, take care of business at home. So let's beat Seattle.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but when again, good teams win the games that they should, and the hardest. I felt the toughest task was beating the Oilers, and they did that game 1, and then play Calgary. And the Calgary game is the one where they just didn't have it. And I think when you go 10-0-2, you can't put too much stock in a game where you didn't have it. Like a game like that is coming. But at that time, Calgary was in last place. Calgary wins that game. They leapfrog Vancouver. Now Vancouver's in last place. So what should have been the 2 most gettable games became the 2 toughest games for them on the road trip. I still think they probably should have peeled 6 points out of this road trip, if not more, especially when you beat McDavid the way you did early in the road trip. But the Vancouver game, I think, was a good response after Calgary. Like Calgary, they just didn't have it. It didn't look like it looked like one of those games where it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't going to be. The Vancouver game was a little bit better. They ran into a goalie that was hot. I think they were we had them like +10 in high danger chance differential, meaning that they created way more than Vancouver did. Vancouver just put a couple more in the net. Wally he also had a game like the rest of the team had in Calgary. Like maybe it was just his turn, and I don't think he was terrible. He just wasn't the Wall of St. Paul that we saw over the previous 7 games, where he had a sub-1 goals against and a .960 save percentage, right? But now there's a chance in Seattle tonight to salvage the road trip against a team that's been struggling, because Seattle was good out of the gates early in the season, but now they've kind of hit the skids too. So opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I think good chance to get back on track. I think Seattle's lost 4 in a row, maybe. Is that what I saw? Mm-hmm. So they're having some trouble. I did pick up a smelling salt carts. Do I want to have this right now? Because it could impact the rest of the show. I could get it on my eyes and we could have to shut down. Or should I do it right at the end, kind of as I'm closer to the 9 o'clock puck drop here? Your call.
Oh, good question. But I don't think they save the smelling salts for the post-game workout. So I feel like it should be at the beginning of the game, like right after warm-up. Like we're warmed up now.
Yeah, we're warmed up.
Smelling salt.
Don't
cut your fingers. Is that the old school glass ones?
This is glass ammonia, crush once. So here we go. I don't know if you can hear this. This would be good. Oh, dear Lord. It's like a knife right into your frontal cortex.
I think there's like a limit. You have to sniff more than once or twice. I think you gave it one good rip. You need to get a good half a dozen in there and let it soak. So for those that have the video product, you see how it's starting to get a little more red?
Do we have Kleenex, by the way? Oh, but we better win this game, man, because that was brutal. These are not the ones the boys do now. I think these are discontinued. These are the Mark Recchi, John LeClaire smelling salts. But oh boy, hey, you've been on the road a long time. What's the mood of the nation? You look good. You look like a Manning brother on the podcast tonight. Like, what are you feeling? What's the team feel like? How are we going to do tonight? I mean, obviously, you're going to lose a game. You're not just going to win forever. So I'm totally with you. The Calgary game, especially because we were 0 for 5 on the power play, right? So it's sort of like that's a game you just turn to your buddy and go, hey, we weren't going to win every hockey game. Now, this Vancouver game, it's a little more problematic. I hate games where it's like, in his first goal in the NHL ever, and then like, oh, this is Elias Pettersson. No, it's not that one. They have 2 of them. This is the one that's not good. He scored. And then we got something called like Ate scored 2 goals, like also like his first goals. So that was just awful. But what's it feel like at breakfast? Are they, when you're at La Quinta and you're flipping the waffle with the team, what does it feel like?
It was fine. And Hines, if you watch the post-game press conference after the Calgary game, he was upset. He just, I think, felt that the team had maybe lost its concentration earlier in the day. Like, didn't love the pregame skate, kind of felt the clunker coming, tried to get ahead of it, couldn't do it. So I think there was some disappointment, but felt good about the response in Vancouver. And I think they had a better response and a better game in Vancouver. But the Calgary game, I think we knew it started to feel like it was diseased early. You have 4 power plays, and it's actually remarkable how much and how other teams are going right after the faces of how many high sticks have the Minnesota Wild taken this year? Like, almost every single guy has zippers in their face right now from a high stick. But in that, so if you didn't watch the Calgary game, it was 4 high sticking penalties, 3 penalties. 1 was a double minor. So 8 total minutes on the power play, and they didn't score. So you think about what that does to your bench. You have half your team, actually more than that, because the power play, the top unit really plays the majority of it, sitting there for half of a period. You don't score, kind of lose their momentum, and then Calgary had a couple 2-on-1s shorthanded. So I think right away it was like, this game's going to be one of those games where maybe it doesn't go your way. And it proved to be that way. Dustin Wolf was good too. Wild had the chances, but Dustin Wolf was good. And then Vancouver, it's funny how hockey works sometimes, because while they're good in the first, they play Tolo Pilo, right, whose 5th NHL game as a goaltender. Nobody's in Minnesota's heard of this guy before. And Elias Pettersson, their top centerman. And this is a team that struggles struggles to score, struggles defensively. Their best centerman, their best player, out sick, starts warm up, and then boom, goes running down the tunnel after 1-2 laps in warm up. He's sick. He's done for the game. So it's like, okay, wow, like this game looks like it's setting up to be one for the taking. And then guys decide to have out of body experiences. Atu Ratu looked like he was, Claude Lemieux out there hitting everybody, putting the puck in the back of the net. Wild had their looks, but Tolopilo was just a little too good. But so with that, the state of the team, I think they're totally fine. That if anything, there's probably a little fatigue. I don't know if you've heard. Did I tell you guys about after the Winnipeg trip where the airplane had issues?
Yep, and you've had it again, right? There's been more plane problems. What I heard, I think. Yeah, each of the last couple of games. So where
we should have been in Vancouver and in Seattle at a reasonable time. There were significant flight delays, and that kept everybody from getting to their hotel rooms until early in the morning. So perhaps like a little bit of fatigue. And with that, it's been unfortunate because the days were supposed to be probably like R&R days, but they didn't materialize like that. They weren't that. Instead, you're trying to catch up and get some sleep. Your day's half gone kind of thing when you wake up. But overall, I think the state of the team is fine. They know they went 10-0-2. They've dropped a couple. It's not the end of the world. They've got a Seattle team that they can beat to play tonight. I think that they'll be ready to go.
Biggest thing is you got to stop the bleeding. I think back to Kirill's quote, right? Yeah, you can still lose 5 and it all goes away. You win 5, then you can lose 3. You can, as a classic Minnesota sports fan, I'm already looking at the standings going, okay, well, we got 35 points. We're in third place in the Central, but out of the playoffs, 31 points. Okay, that's a couple games. And there are some teams that are frisky outside, right? San Jose, we know we got a problem with them. Winnipeg, if Hellebuck gets back here. Edmonton's obviously in the playoffs right now, so they're starting to do their typical wake-up period. So, yeah, you have to stop it, right? You can drop a couple. You're human. But you gotta, whether it's getting 1 point or 2, you can't have stretches where you're in the desert. Or there you go. We're back to November, right? October. We do not want that. So this is a big game tonight to get back on track because you come home, you got a nasty Dallas team, big rival. Senators are playing well, and then the Bruins back to back, right? So you got to get this game tonight. I think 2 points, salvage the road trip, drink your special bottles of water on the way home, play some cards, and you'll be doing good.
I think tonight is a game where we'll see that they have the decision to make on that. We'll see what kind of game they bring. You're right, though. Like, it does feel important because it doesn't get easier when they get back home. It really doesn't. But we should talk quick, Kinger, about goaltending. Like the Wall of St. Paul, Gustafsson, and how good they've been. Wallstead coming off his, which wasn't even, it's not even a bad game, right? Like, and going into that game, some of the stats that he had were outrageous. Hadn't given up a goal from the blue line, like hadn't given up one from long range, had given up like 1 or 2 from medium range, hadn't given up a bad angle goal, so from outside the dots on the flanks or out there. Like the guy had been unbelievable just stopping the pucks that he should, and a large chunk of the ones that he shouldn't stop too. You see anything else in the Wall of St. Paul that you liked over the trip?
Well, the guys, he was getting to his historical levels. I found myself on my phone looking up, what goalies have won the Calder, what's the best rookie season for a goalie. And there are some off the charts seasons for rookie goalies, way beyond a tandem goalie that's winning most of their games. But I think I remember in the Vancouver game, didn't half those shots go in off our defenseman's skates? Wasn't that a bit haunted, or was that I can't remember.
The Vancouver game where things were crazy is like Buium, for no apparent reason, stick just exploded. Remember?
Oh, and he tried to get the one they held one out on the way back to the bench. Had he grabbed that pass probably doesn't go through, you would think, potentially. Right. And then he had a little boo-boo behind the net where, he kind of lost the puck and they threw it in the empty net. But I think he's the same as the team. It's okay to blink. Your eyes are going to dry out, right? So it's fine. He had a game where he looked human, right? I actually think in some small way, that's a good thing to kind of, how do you respond to it, right? How do you react to it? We have 2 good goalies. That is the thing. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, how do you get, really your prediction for this road trip is the difference between having a stressful season or having a non-stressful season. Are you a good team that gets 6 out of 8? And you know what? We're just kind of rolling through. Or is it 4 or less? And you know, you have good months and bad months, and it feels like you were holding your breath the whole time. I do think that impacts the playoffs too. You know, as much time as you can spend on cruise control is just only going to help you later. And having two goalies splitting time is wonderful in terms of workload as well.
I think Gus Must too is the kind of guy that is he's better when there's somebody there that is pushing him a little bit. I think he's the kind of guy that just likes to have a goalie tandem. So go back to, what was it, Allmark and Swayman, where it looked like they were having a blast sharing the net.
Hugging each other.
I think Gustafsson is like that. I think he likes having a partner to play with, you know, like somebody to root for. And, you know, there's like an internal competition, obviously, to have the net and to be good enough to play. But I actually think he just likes having a buddy along for the ride with him, you know, like whether it's Flower or Wally, whatever it is. And he seems to play better with somebody close to him, which I think is kind of cool. Eventually I think it's going to be Gus's net. The Wall of St. Paul was good. You're right. When you start getting compared to, and the only other guy to do things that you're doing at the moment's name was Frank Brimsick. You're playing some pretty good hockey, right? But again, the kid has 15 total NHL games. You can't expect him to be like that. I tried to tell the story in the broadcast, the one where Nicholas Backstrom was telling us that 27 years old, he felt like he was ready to be an NHL goalie because he had gone through some stuff. You know, and Wallstead last year went through some stuff, and it's helped him be ready to get off to a good start this year. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to have to go through more stuff. And I think we're overanalyzing a little bit, just one game. Like he could bounce back and pitch into a shutout next game. But I do expect Gus to have another good game here tonight. While they've had to rely on their goalies, it may be too much lately. Like they haven't been scoring. Maybe we pivot there now. But another thing that's mildly concerning, and you're in a good position when you've gone 10-0-2, you drop 2 games, and you're like, this is what's concerning, right? Sometimes you need perspective. But we haven't seen like an Eriksson Ek type of game in a while, you know, or like a Kaprizov kind of bat signals out game in a little bit, you know, and I think it's probably time, or they're probably needing to have a game like that, score 4 goals, have a Kaprizov, you know, circle the wagons type of moment, have an Eriksson Ek, like 2 power play goals from the snot bubble kind of game. You notice any of that stuff?
Oh yeah. I saw some Wild fans this weekend. That was coming up, right? About half of your scoring's coming from 2 guys. And, 5-on-5, we're not getting the depth scoring, like you said, right? JoJo really helped us. He kind of bandaged together the start of the season for us. Faber got hot there for a while. But, the Hartmans, the X, right? Foligno's been hurt, but he's a guy that's chipped in offensively historically. Rossi being out's a big deal, I think. He was skating today, him and Vinny. They both looked good. I have no idea how far away they are, but he's at least on the ice. But, yeah, I think we have navigated injuries pretty well. But if we didn't have the goaltending doing what it did, you're not getting the goals to win games. If you're trying to race to 3 or 4, we're losing, right? So that when you're in the San Jose Sharks game and Will Smith and Celebrini are making TikToks on the bench and putting 4 in the net, like those are hard games for us, right? So we need to get the offense, the engine going, whether that's Kirill with the side pad or and you can see Hines is still scrambling lines on offense, right? He's figured out the back end. He's got his pairs, but he is just DJ Hines on these lines, whether it's putting Boldy with Ek and Kirill when he's really desperate. He's moving Hartman all over the ice in that Vancouver game because I think Hartman was playing pretty well. He started on the 4th line, right? I mean, he's still looking for combinations on offense. And yeah, you're absolutely right. If we could get the 4-goal game, the 5-goal game, Middleton getting an assist, Faber getting a couple points, Boldy and like everyone feeling good about themselves offensively, that's worth a ton.
Yeah, and the power play struggles, Rossi out, those things are they're starting to show up, and it's starting to matter. So the power play struggles, I think, are bleeding into 5-on-5 play and the pressure to score. Kaprizov had, so in the Calgary game. Yeah,
that's saved by Wolf. Are you talking about the one where, Kirill just looks, Kirill's not a guy that swears going back to the bench. That's just not how he is. But you could tell he was shaking his head like, there's no way he got that with the paddle. We never really saw it on the broadcast, but like, it looked like he got a filthy save on him on that play. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and just kind of the pressure. And I don't know that he really feels pressure, but that morning we saw Kaprizov do something he's never done before. Black tape and mooring skate. So his stick was like all blacked out. It was almost like, whose stick did he take? It was his own. And asked about it, he was like, just trying to switch something up, change it up, like, because it hasn't been going well, I haven't been playing well, I just want to change something, see if it works. So it was more just an illustration that he's like not feeling great offensively, and he had that great look, doesn't go in. He did his thing, where he kind of looked to the rafters. Again, you never see it. The guy just competes and plays. But I do think that the power play at 10% is starting to wear on these guys too. And we've talked about this with the kill. When the kill struggles and it's 70-something% and they just 60, they can't dig themselves out of it, and they just need a handful of games where they're perfect to just get the momentum going in the right direction. Power play needs that right now. And the total team offense needs that. But you were making this point earlier. It's crazy how this season it's like either blazing hot or it's ice cold. And that's everything. It was the power play to start the year on fire, right? And then it's penalty kill, ice cold. November comes around, it just switches. Power play, ice cold, penalty kill, blazing hot. Goaltending to start the year, not great, giving up 4 a game, boom, into blazing hot. It's like they need to just find that middle road and stay like, they got to simmer. And I think that's what Hines is looking for. And offensively, he's creating a spark. Now, Rossi missing, Hines doesn't want to break up Eriksson, Ek, Boldy, and Johansson. That's like the line that he trusts. That's like his comfort line. Like I want that line together. I like what they do in every single situation. But with the other groups not scoring, I think he's starting to feel like he has to use them to create a spark. So without Rossi, he can't put Rossi between Zuccarello and Kaprizov and see if that gives him a different look than Hartman or Yurov, right? And now he's had to like break up or put Kirill a couple extra places, give him a 4th line shift, and try to manufacture offense. And using Hartman, I think that's all about him recognizing that I've got these good guys on the ice right now, and our faceoff percentage in the last couple of games has been 35%. If I get an O-zone draw and I put Kaprizov and Zuccarello on the ice, we got to start with the puck. So I've got to put the centerman that gives me the best chance to win that draw on the ice. So Hines is right now offensively trying to get every little advantage he can out of the roster. And I do think they're hoping Rossi can get back sooner rather than later.
Well, the other thing, I'd be remiss if we're trying to pass the puck into the net. I mean, I know that Zuki loves passing. He's got 2 goals and 10 assists, right? But there have been so many moments in these last 2 games where I am screaming at my television, shoot that, man. Shoot that. Just shoot the puck. Come on. I mean, and I know that that's been kind of our recipe for success, right? It's like you can either have a guaranteed shot or you can have a guaranteed goal if you thread the needle through the box 3 times. But at some point, somebody needs to go, hey, man, super hard to thread the needle through the box 3 times. Like also, if you're going far post, Kirill, and it's Trennan, trying to catch a laser and go top shelf on it. Like maybe you just fire it and let him clean up the scraps right there. So I feel like this team a little bit the last couple games, it's like we play to a level, right? Like Colorado comes to town, the dander is up, the ears are up, the tail is wagging. But then we get into a couple of these games, it looks a little more scrimmage-like. It's like we're at Tria. Like, let's try a couple extra passes here. Let's do this, tic-tac-toe. Man, when you're struggling a little bit, just fire it, man. Shoot it.
Yeah.
I mean, Zuki, by the way, he scores when he shoots. He really does. I mean, this is one of our top shootout guys. So he's got a weird shot. He's got that long stick. Like, not the worst thing in the world. Like, hey, 10 goals and 30 assists, right? Well, fire it.
Yeah, I'm sure he had been reminded of that. So back to the Vancouver game, he makes the great pass to Boldy. They go up 1-0. And then he's got to look to make it 2-0. And it's Kaprizov this time. And he's going down Broadway and the seas kind of part. So it's him and Tolopilo. And he passes on what's a wide open shot from just outside the hash marks to try to go to Kaprizov in that one-timer spot. And it gets picked off, goes the other direction. I think the positive is you're right. And Zuccarello is a good shooter. It is deceptive, and he can score with it. And then on the power play, sure enough, later in the game, he shoots from almost the same spot and scores. So I do think that you'll see a little bit more shooting and a little bit simpler game out of those guys. But also, and I asked Heinz about this, I think it's a sign of a confident team when you are overpassing, because you feel like you can make the play, you're confident that if that play is made, the puck's in the back of the net. And he kind of talked on the fact that it's a tough balance, because you don't want to oversimplify a group's game and say you just have to go to the net, get it to the point shot, tip, rebound, try to score. And that's what Calgary is. And that's why Calgary, it's taken them such a long time to dig out of their early season struggles, and they just can't score. And they've played an simple kind of game. So seeing a group that overpasses is in some ways positive. And that's the challenge for a coach, is to get them to have the balance. Like, okay, make that play, but also like make the simple play when it presents itself, like when you're in the slot ready to shoot. But yeah, those guys, I think they're due for a big game. And Kaprizov hasn't scored in 3 games. That's only happened a handful of times in his career. This season, he's gone 2 stretches of 2 games without scoring, and he's had goals in the next game each time, and then gone on runs with points in a bunch of games to follow suit. So I fully anticipate that group having, or Kaprizov for sure, Zuccarello obviously a part of that, having a big game in Seattle and trying to get some momentum coming back to Minnesota.
Yeah, I hope so. So do you notice anything on the back end? It's interesting when I was watching in October, I remember thinking to myself, I've never seen more of a hockey game played on the wall, where guys are holding pucks with their skates and there's 3 guys in there trying to get it and the ref's yelling, move it, move it. It felt like the entire game in October, whenever we were playing, was all this like wall play. And I'm getting a little PTSD on that now. Like, I'm seeing a little more of that again. Like when we were in November, it was, I don't know if we're not moving our feet and getting the puck out of, we have skating defensemen, right? Like, get it out of the zone and go, right? And I'm wondering if we've got these pairs dialed in. I think they're still figuring out Buyam and Bogosian a little bit, because they've been pinned a few times. But are you seeing anything different in our own end in terms of our ability to just get up the ice and get rolling?
I think there's probably just an element of playing fast. I don't think breakouts are bad, but I think that they could probably get out a little bit cleaner. I think the rush chances have dried up a little bit for them. I just think that when you start winning games 1-0, 2-1, you start to play defensive-minded hockey, and you stay on the right side of it. And then it's tough to, as a defenseman or a different forward, to jump up into the play when I think when things are going well and you are scoring, you're confident. You're feeling like, yeah, I'll jump in the play. And I think there have been a handful of breakouts where the Wild could use that weak side D to jump into the play, and that will make all the difference. And sometimes he's not there, and maybe that's a confidence thing, maybe that's a support thing. But I don't think it's an issue. I think that this group, the defensive core, innately want to defend first. Other than William, there's not a guy there that wants to score before they want to defend. I think Juracek would probably fall under that camp. He probably wants to score more than he wants to defend, right? And that's not a bad thing. Like if you look across the league, Quinn Hughes is probably that way too, and Wild just face him. There's a handful of others, but I think they just take pride in defense, and they've been reinforced, and it's worked for them, like winning tight games. But there is a desire, I think, for the D to be in the play, have a second layer, and to help the offense. No doubt about that.
What do you see out of Tarasenko? Right? I mean, this is a guy that, as we go through these hard times, right, when we have a little blip, you need that random goal from the fourth line. You need that goal from Tarasenko. JoJo really helped us early in the year. Tarasenko was a power play 2, getting some points, even power play 1, I think at times. Is he a guy that could, start to heat up or get in the flow a little bit? Because I feel like we need him to, right? We need him to get his 30 points. We need him to replace that Freddie Gaudreau. I mean, he's got to at least get to that level.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. He was hurt, and I think he's still working his way back. He's, I think, also kind of accepting a different role. He's always been kind of the scorer. Now he's playing kind of a checking role, and he's smart and can do that. But his strength is shooting the puck and, thinking offensively. And he's not in a lot of positions to be able to do that. He's the kind of guy that I think could chip in. Now, the Vancouver game, he had chances. Like Hartman set him up in the slot, and the puck just went under the tape. And I think he was disappointed in that one. But again, without being on the power play, the top group, and getting those puck touches, sometimes those skill guys lose it, and the Wild haven't practiced. So the only puck touches a guy's getting are in the game, and sometimes that's not enough, and where I find Tarasenko, and this could be interesting, power play was on fire with Tarasenko in Zuccarello's spot when Zuccarello was out. And that might simply be because Tarasenko's a shooter, and everybody respects the shot, and when he gets an opportunity, he's not afraid to pull the trigger. And Zuccarello, we saw last game, is more of a pass first kind of guy. Like, are you getting to a spot, and this is where it becomes delicate, because how are you going to take Matt Zuccarello off the number 1 power play? And you can't blame the struggles on him, but the truth is, it was performing better with Tarasenko, right? And I think you can give, and you should give, Zuccarello a bunch of time, or show him the video or something like that. But I think Tarasenko has proven that he could be good in that spot. And maybe he's the kind of guy that if you put him there and he gets his points there, that helps his 5-on-5 game. Now you get some secondary scoring. Your power play gets better. I don't know that that's a decision to be made, but I find it interesting that that power play was great with Tarasenko on it. And he looked better and was more impactful in the games while on it. So maybe that ice time might be something they want to consider giving him.
Hey, you're at the Four Seasons. How is the water, like when you're showering or drinking water out of the faucet? I mean, does it remind you of home, or is your home experience even more stars than a Four Seasons type hotel?
Good question. When you travel, you get in these hotel rooms and it's so dry, right? So you need to have good water, but you're like, I don't know, do you drink the tap water? By the way, do you drink tap water out of the hotel tap?
Yeah.
So you'll just bring the cup over to the hotel tap and just drink it?
Yeah, I also leave my toothbrush bristles down everywhere I go. I mean, you're talking to the wrong guy here. You know, I mean,
I think that's something I think I got to get over. I'm just used to my reverse osmosis at home. I'm like, I can't drink this right out of the tap. I'm like, I need this to be filtered or something. But yeah, no, if you're like me and you're a bit of a water snob and you like nothing but the best, you should look up our friends at Aquarius Home Services. They've got a great Kinetico K5 system, reverse osmosis that goes right at the kitchen sink. Purified water, terrific, tastes good, crisp, clean, no dry mouth when you wake up in the morning. And if you do have it at your own house, you grab a sip of water, you feel A-okay. You don't have to run downstairs, chase like a water bottle. It's right there. But they've also got great water softeners. So if you're hosting for the holidays and you need spotless dishes, you need your skin looking good for the company that's coming over, Aquarius Home Services, you can find them aquarius.com. Check them out. Good stuff, Kinger. Tell me about where you're gonna get your holiday food.
Well, this is a tough time with these 9 o'clock starts. You know, I know you're living it live. You're like in a different time zone, but for us, it's not great. You got this gap, right? You're going to watch a show on Netflix before a hockey game. That messes everything up. So what I would do is go over to Cub, maybe get a little spread, maybe have an hors d'oeuvre round, you know, get some crackers, some chips, some dip, maybe wrap something in bacon. That's always good. And then have your meal from Cub as well. You can go get a rotisserie chicken. You can get everything you need for game day is at Cub. They're a local brand. They're one of us, high value, love sports, sponsor of the podcast, PJ Flex headset, Homer Hankies, all of it. So go shop happy at Cub. Hey, our guest today is awesome, Marian Gaborik, the best player the Wild ever had before you know, we'll see how Kirill's whole career plays out, but this was our first Stallion. The dude, by the way, is still a Stallion. Like the black, you know, the shoes, the pants, he was like tan, even though I don't think he should be tan. Like very like F1 driver, Marian Gaborik, like very cool guy. I think people are really going to like this interview, but I do have some just random stuff. What do you want to cover that we haven't talked about? And then we'll get into this awesome interview.
I do want to get into the fact that the podcast makes changes.
It does.
Like it used to be Delta water on the back. I'm working on getting Aquarius reverse osmosis water bottled and on the airplane. We had to settle for Fiji water. That was a big win for the podcast, if you recall, when Craig Leopold was on. But now we're changing youth hockey tournaments for the better too. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I did. Someone reached out to me. This guy's name is Art Boylan. Apparently he's the president of the Edina Hockey Association. He says, I stopped Carter to introduce myself when I saw him at the Cake Eater tournament. Told him I love when you guys talk youth hockey for a few minutes. So, Art, maybe you're in the minority on that, but thank you that someone likes it. And he says, as the current president of Edina Hockey, I will insist on marble cake next year. Message received. So, hey, man, these other pods, they got the Pink Whitney, they got the Sandbagger, all these different things. They got, you know, ball hockey tournaments. We are making real changes to cake distribution at a massive tournament in the state of hockey. So, I mean, this is a huge deal. I think it's one of our greatest accomplishments.
Yeah, maybe we should be guest cake hander-outers next year. Maybe we should go.
You'll probably be in it. I did. My response was, I mean, it's embarrassing we didn't have it already. So I did let them know, like, hey, you know, you got to find that next level. When everyone else wants a toilet, you got to give them the bidet. You know, you got to find that next level. So yeah, that was pretty fun to see that come back. Did you see that the around the league, right? So a bunch of teams have been going out no bucket for warm up, the whole team. So this is a bit like Kirill. I'm actually kind of upset that Kirill taped his stick like that. Like really freaks me out. I wish you didn't tell that story. But so I don't like Kirill like thinking about anything like that. That shook me to the core. But having these people are going out to break slumps, and they're having everyone no buckets. Sharks did it. Some other teams did it, and they always win. So what's been happening is when a team does this, they win the game. And now the NHL is just freaking out about this. They did a fine. They're basically telling them, we don't want this to be a thing. So like tonight against Seattle, like, hey, if you're in the lobby carts, maybe pull Spurge aside and be like, hey, no bucket. What does it cost you? $30,000? I mean, this thing's got a track record now. Most of the teams that do it are winning. So if we get to that point, maybe no bucket for the whole squad. But yeah, they've clamped down on it. It's like I think it's a.
What's the fine? $5,000? Yeah,
I believe it's $5,000 a guy, right? So you're talking 5 times 23, right? So there's some money there. But I do think it's just hilarious. It's so hockey, right? That guys are like, well, they're just sitting there with the whiteboard, like, well, okay, 5,000. We did lose the last 2 games against Vancouver and Calgary, right? Like they I think guys are going to keep doing this, even though the league's like, it makes it worse. This is like your parents being like, we don't want you to date that guy. Like, that's not a good way to get someone not to do something. So it's something to keep an eye on. I love that, though. The no buckets got the attention of the league, let's just say.
I think that I'd have to look it up. I don't know exactly, but I think that rule only applies, like the fine only applies to guys that entered the league after like 2020 something, right?
That's correct. 2019, I think. That is right. So obviously Bogosian would not get a fine. Hartman, some of these guys.
A lot of guys would. No. It'd only be like,
yeah.
It'd be palatable, it'd be like a Bouillon and maybe Boldy. Yeah, Boldy, Urov.
Faber.
Yeah, other than that, I think.
Little GoFundMe, maybe? No, we're not at that point, let's be clear. The other thing I think about as a Minnesota sports fan, so the Vikings played great, and now the Wild didn't play great for 2 games. I literally...
Yeah, why can't we have...
I've been thinking, like, is there only so much good energy you can have in Minnesota? Like, I'm like, this is something I actively have thought about, like driving around in my car, like, so they like shut out a team, this quarterback that couldn't figure it out, all of a sudden figured it out. And now we lose to Calgary and Vancouver. I'm like, is this like, remember the conch? You hold the conch, the seashell. It's like, can only one team be, this is, I don't know, man. We got to win tonight because I don't want to start retaping Kirill's stick at Tria. Like let's get back on track. It was better in November. It was better, You know
who else we should throw a bouquet to is the Ojibwe broadcast. Did you by chance see any of that? Like that was pretty cool to hear the calls and the victory call and the goal call.
I only saw it like in bars where they were running did it sound almost like European soccer? Were they like getting loud and yelling? Yeah. Okay, that's great. Yeah, it looked like that's what they were doing. But I was at some place where I couldn't hear the audio, but the guys were pretty animated in the booth. I support that in every way. I mean, let's get as weird as we can for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Huss, do we have trivia for today, or are we taking today off, seeing that it's remote and we can't see the scoreboard with me posted up in front of it?
Should I zoom over to the scoreboard quick?
I don't think that's been updated. I should have a half point for Sammy Walker. It should be 7 to 2.5.
We got trivia queued up. We can run
Let's
with
do it.
one. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh boy.
And then we'll get to Gabby.
What a stud.
All right, so here we go. First question. This player shared a draft class with Marc-Andre Fleury, Shea Weber, Dustin Byfuglien, and Biz.
Okay. Well, I think I know what's happening here. Okay. Give me one more. I might go for the early punch here.
Next one. This player is second all-time scoring for a different franchise.
I just punched in. Okay. I might be wrong again. No, this is going to be wrong again. Damn it. I punched in too early. Eric Stahl.
Bingo.
Oh my God.
Can Can we get a clock?
Marble cake for everyone.
Can we get a clock, Huss? Because how can you bring in and then just take 3 minutes to come up with your answer? How can you hear the clue and then be like, I rung in, and then just end it until you just decide that...
I'm surprised I could get the words out of my mouth with all that marble cake in there. Oh, my God. You are on a slide. You should go no bucket.
It's amazing how many rules you have to break to get points. Huss, that first question was a good one because I think from that 2003 draft, the Wild have had like a lot of players. I think Suits was in that draft, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Parise's in that draft.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking, and I almost spazzed thinking he scored that much for the Devils, and I didn't, thank God. That's a great draft, by the way.
I was hoping you were going to spaz on that, Kinger.
Yeah, I thought you were coming back at me, like rock, paper, scissors, going back to the same thing. But thank you, Stahl. He's a coach, I think, in Edina as well.
Yeah, and I think they also had like Eric Fair, right? That
I think
played for the Wild. That was
Eric Fair was in there too.
First rounder in that draft. Gosh, Daniel Winnick might have been in that draft.
So is this just you like showing, like making up for missing the trivia? Like you're just showing things you know? Is that what's happening?
No,
okay.
I'm telling Huss that was a good question because there was like 6 of them that have played for the Wild from that draft. I think Vanek was in that draft. So that's where, like for me, that I was like, that's Vanek. And at first I was like, Suits. No, he wouldn't be second all time scoring Nashville, but maybe because Nashville's like their history is not that great. But okay, no, not him. Vanek might be second in Buffalo, but you nailed it with Eric Stahl.
Yeah, we can cut all this out. Just go right when I win, and then right into. Hey, I want to.
Those are good questions, though.
That was good. Hey, I want to give you this. Is just I mentioned this to you before, but I want to see if you notice this. Okay. So I have this theory that hockey players pick their noses more than other athletes, right? And whenever they cut to the bench, I find myself nervous that someone's going to pick their nose because they're always like doing work around the nose, like rubbing it, like putting the finger on the side of it, kind of maybe underneath it. Like, do you feel that as an analyst? Like, it's not, and it doesn't happen. Like, you're not going to cut to the sideline and Marcus Mariota's, got a digit up the nostril. But there's something about hockey when these guys are in their cars alone, they're doing work for sure. Like when they show the bench, don't you have that same feeling of like these guys, he's going in, he's going to go on the nose. Like, cause I think it's cause I watch with my wife too. And I'm just like, don't do that. Don't put it in there. Nothing you've ever noticed.
No,
you're gonna now. You're gonna now. I just made your job worse.
Like, yeah. So tell me, like, are they like a knuckle deep? Like, to the
I'm
first
just
digit?
saying, they're always flirting with it. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's a star, a seventh D man. They're always like up in there, like kind of like moving stuff around. It just makes me uncomfortable because I want the game to grow. We don't need to see that. Like just be careful out there, guys. That's all I'm saying. You're always on camera. Just be careful. That's a good transition to Gaborik. Would he like that? Does that make him? He's going to come back. I don't know. I guess.
Like, hold on. I'm now curious because let's say the camera flies by the bench and somebody's digging. Like,
yeah. Get out of there.
Do you have to look away?
They got to get out of there.
Do you have to look? The camera does.
Yeah, you got to cut that. You got to cut it as a home broadcast. You got to cut it. Like if you're there,
you don't want to see it end. You don't want to see it end.
No. I'm just saying that's what, if it's the other team, absolutely. And then even talk about it. Be like, oh, Quinn Hughes looks like he's doing something on the bench. Like you can talk about, like if it's our guys and they're kind of moving around and figuring stuff out, like you got to just get out of there quick. I'm telling you, now fans are going to notice this. Like when they go to the bench, tell me there's not a hand on a nose every time they go to the bench, and they're thinking, I don't know. It's something I've noticed. I watch a lot of hockey.
The color guy's job is how and why. So we got to figure this out. Like, do you think it's the smelling salts that get things moving, or like were you struggling? Did you have the desire to stick a digit up there today?
Yeah, I even did that. I did the kind of like rub the nose with the fingers. Yeah, like it could be smelling salts. There's a lot of breathing. Like if you watch an interview between periods, even though it's been like 5 minutes, these guys are like still hyperventilating by the door. That's a passageway, right? They got to be clear. They got to have a clean passage. Breathe. Like I think breathe right strips were in hockey for a minute, right? Like, I'm just telling you, they don't want any obstruction, and they're going to make sure it's clear. So when you see it, if you're on FanDuel, oh, hey, one other FanDuel question. Why are we putting a circle around guys? Have you noticed this? Do you see that on the broadcast? So if it's on the power play, they just have a circle around Kirill. I feel like, like Minnesota, no one wants that. No one wants that.
You're talking live play.
Yeah, don't put a circle around him, don't you think? Because you got the headset. You could be like, hey, dudes, like everyone knows 97. Like, we don't need a circle. They're going to cut this. They're cutting this out for sure.
I don't notice that because like I'll be watching play live, but I would notice it on the replay if I'm watching that. But 97, and you're like, we don't need to spot shadow 97.
It makes it harder to see actually because he's circled, right? And I think they pick a guy. So I think if like Vancouver had a power play, I think they would circle Quinn Hughes, but they don't. I don't think they're telling you to say, hey, talk about Quinn Hughes because we're going to put a circle on him. I was just curious your overall philosophy, if you like stuff like that or you like just clean, just show it clean.
I think if you're doing like a replay, that stuff is good. Like you point out where somebody is, where he's going, something like that. That's great. But maybe over live play, it's distracting. Like, you remember when they used to have like the tracer back in like the Versus days or something?
Fox.
Or the puck. Yeah, or the puck tracer too.
You could see it through the wall. It would shine through the wall, right? Like if they
you'd finally.
I think for young kids, maybe maybe they like that, or if you're a new player to the game, you're like, oh, that's the Russian guy that's really good. I just thought it was interesting because I hadn't seen that before, and I was wondering if they were telling you like, hey, we got a spot shadow on 97 for the whole power play. Talk about him. I just was just more of a technical question. Plus, I was trying to get some distance from the nose picking. So, Marian Gaborik, Stallion, one of the best we ever had. Still looks like $1 million. Go to an F1 race with him. The Brad Pitt of Minnesota Wild Hockey. Here's Marian Gaborik.
All right, this interview is sponsored by Duke Cannon. If you want your hair to be a weapon, if you want to earn your clean, get their cologne, their body wash, their hair products, walk into Target, do yourself a favor, get some Duke Cannon. This is the 25th season of Wild Hockey, and we might as well just start with a legend. We might as well go with the number 3 overall pick, the first pick for the Wild, Stanley Cup champion, got a bronze for his home country in the World Juniors, which I bet he's pretty proud about as well. Our first pick, 1,000 games, 815 points, an all-star, a Ferrari, a thoroughbred, Marian Gaborik. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me.
That's good. I like it.
I got to start because I think I got this right. I think the Wild did an event with you, maybe even before you played with them. And I got this puck when I was there.
So that's actually you. That's your puck.
I went to this event. I think you were wearing a pink T-shirt, and you had the same hair as Eminem with the Slim Shady.
You did like the frosted tips.
I mean, this guy... You want to come into a new franchise. This is like Leo DiCaprio was playing on our hockey team. It was unbelievable. Do you remember those days and what was going on with the bleach, or is that even not bleached? Is that just natural?
No, it's not natural. When I was maybe 2-3 years old, I actually have had that kind of hair. But I think this was like maybe 3rd or 4th year. I don't know, young. Stupid, just wanted to change something up, so I went with that kind of hair.
Well, it fit it all tracks because you were fast. The hair looks fast. You know, it all tracks. How was it? Like first pick and new building, new franchise. Like how was it as a young player coming into that situation? And it was an expansion draft, so like in some ways, like I feel like early on there was even pressure on you right away. How was it?
Well, I mean, it was a situation where we had no superstars. It's kind of with expansion draft, everybody was kind of started from the scratch. So, you know, you had 5-6 guys that were 100% locked in that they made a team, and the other guys, whatever, I don't know, 90 guys went into the camp and we're just battling for a spot. It was same situation for me, and I remember. You know, rookie camp was not like right now. We didn't go to Traverse City, play other teams. We just played within our group at Parade downtown, where it used to be our practice rink for a long time. So it was great. I mean, all the guys were helpful. We didn't really have any, like I said, any superstars, any guys that you know, try to do. You know, try to be a big shots or anything like that. So we helped each other, and I also had my fellow Czech and Slovaks on the team. We were like 7 or 8 guys, which was helpful to transition into, you know, into the men's hockey, and yeah, it was with the fans, with the people that Minnesota had. It was just such a great experience.
Yeah, and you get the first goal in franchise history, right? Like, how was that?
Yeah, I remember it was Anaheim. We lost the game, though. It was a bummer, but first game, first goal, lost 3-1. And I remember it was Scott Pillar from behind the net, I think. And Guy Hebert was in the net and low blocker. So I remember that was, obviously, it was something that you never forget.
So do you still have, like, the puck and a plaque and with the game sheet and everything?
Yeah, I have a puck and a plaque. I don't know if a game sheet. I don't think I do have that, but it was small. Now these days they do a big frames, but like a small little plaque, which was very cool to have, and I'll never forget that, obviously.
And now, are you a collector of sports memorabilia and stuff too? Do you have a collection of things? I have
a few things that I have signed over the years. I don't really have, like some guys. Maybe they do have jerseys and sticks signed. I have a few items.
Any special ones that stand out?
I have Peter Bandra jersey that I used to. He was my idol. So Pavel Bure's stick, and Wayne Gretzky's jersey that I just got signed recently. A few days ago, I had this event with him back home in Slovakia, which was an unbelievable experience to get to know him pretty good. And McDavid stick, you know, rising superstars when I played against him, and sitting on a bench and you just get caught being a fan behind the bench and just watching a game when he's on the ice. So
yeah,
you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I have a few things. Obviously, one of my best friends that passed away, Paul Demitra, jersey, and I have a few things.
What are you doing now? Like, what's you back in? I know you built a rink, a hockey school. We should hear about that. It sounds amazing. But what's your life like now? And do you ever come back to Minnesota, or is this the first time in a while?
I do. I also do have podcasts, like I mentioned. The hockey rink, it's been up for 20 years. It was this year. We do have hockey school, and I do that, different projects, and just enjoying family time. I have two daughters, 3 and 5, and I actually enjoy it now that I have kids after hockey, that I can spend time with them, watch them grow, and I'm not bored, which is great.
I bet. Yeah, you must have been fun to watch. I'd be curious, when you were coming up from Slovakia, and then now we had a couple, I think the first and the second pick in the draft a few years back, both from Slovakia. How has hockey changed in Slovakia? You were a part of helping that, but how has it changed from when you came out versus today?
Well, I think the generation we had was much stronger than we do have now as Slovakian players. You know, we've had maybe 50 guys in the NHL. Now it's obviously less. But the generation you had, Ziggy Palffy, Miro Shatan, Marian Gaborik, Zdeno Chara, Peter Bondra, you just name it, and there were those golden age where we as a country won, world championships, bronze medal, silver medal, and now we have guys that coming up. Obviously, Slafkovsky was number one. Overall, a couple of years ago, Nemec was number 3, and those guys are just stepping up. So hopefully the future for Slovakian hockey is going to be close to where it was when I was playing. But we'll see. I think the Slovakian hockey kind of snoozed in 2012 when we have won a bronze medal at World Championship, and I think all the other countries didn't lose a step. We used to give Switzerland 5, 7, 8 goals. Now it's the other way around. So we kind of snoozed there, but I think it's moving in the right direction, and I think it's coming back.
Will your daughters be hockey players, you think?
I don't think so. I think if I would have a boy, I would probably be closer to hockey. Maybe obviously he would maybe play hockey because I played hockey. But the girls, who knows? They started skating a little bit, so obviously I'm not gonna say no. But if they like it, maybe. But I don't see it.
There's a lot of dudes around here. So it's an acronym, Dads of Only Daughters. I fall under that camp too. I've got only daughters.
Pierre-Marc Bouchard is
a dude.
A lot of guys on the current Wild
Zook
team.
too.
Yeah, Zuki's a dude. Dad of only daughters. There's a lot of them around.
Marian Gaborik too.
Really?
He got 3 daughters. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
That's good. I got to go to your 5-goal night. Was that just did the stars align? Because you might have been able to have 8 goals that night. Was it just your night? Do you feel good? What do you remember about that?
Yeah, I think I was just in some sort of a zone where things were just happening. I scored different kind of goals, a couple out of the air. And like you said, I could have 2 or 3 more. I remember the guy just tried to set me up on 5-on-3 there. I already had 5, and Steve Veliket was in the net, and I had an open net, and I broke a stick. I had a couple more other chances, but it was, like you said, star aligned and stars aligned, and then I was just in some sort of a zone where things were just going my way, and it was an incredible night.
Yeah. Yeah, you blame Tony DaCosta for that stick breaking it all?
Well, Tony, we've had a lot of great times. I remember we just talked about one story that when it was my first year, I didn't really hang my gear up. I just left it on the floor, and when I did it a couple times, he just left it there until the next day, and then I came back to the room and I see it on the floor. I was like, what's going on? Well, you have to hang up your gear where it belongs. And since then, I did that. So we just talked in the room. It's great memories, and time flies.
That's so good. We're going to beat Tony up here for a second because equipment guys, they like their job and they love it, but I don't think they really want to work that much. Did you see the skate sharpener down there? It's all automatic now.
Yeah,
I don't know what he does anymore.
I was telling him that he's got with Zook skates, it takes him 2 seconds to sharpen those little kid skates. So, and then he's just saying, I've been doing this 26 years. I'm still change garbages. So I was like, have Benzi do it. He does his own thing. So it's funny.
Oh, man, that's good. You don't blame him because you'd have groin injuries or other injuries. Personally, I'd put that on Tony DaCosta for not sharpening the skates. Right? I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah, exactly. It's Tony's fault, obviously. Wooden sticks.
1,500 games or more for Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we definitely know who to blame for sure. I was going to ask, do you watch a lot of hockey now? What do you think of the game today, the speed? You talked about McDavid coming into the league at the end of your career. What do you make of today's game and the 4 nations and some of the stuff that's happening Olympics this year?
Yeah, I watch a little bit. Obviously, it's hard with the time change to watch games, but if I have a chance, I do watch it. And the evolution of hockey is crazy. The way it just changed. I mean, the speed, all the analytics, all the stats, and but I think creativity kind of disappeared from the game, from my point of view, a little bit. It's more straightforward. You don't see. Other than McDavid and McKinnon probably going coast to coast anymore, but the game's evolved and it's fun for the fans to see that there's a lot more goals scored. When I used to play, I remember when I used to play, they tried to do all kinds of different rule changes to create more goals, and now you see games 7-6. 7-2 games like that, so it's fun for the teams. I mean, for the fans to see it. But at the same time, I miss some sort of a creativity. In that, it's sometimes it feels like it's more robotic in terms of you got to stand here, you got to put your stick here.
You know what that is? I think that's video. Like there's so much video now where it's like boom, boom, and they pause the video and it's literally a fraction of a second where they're like, your stick is here and it needs to be here, and you say, well, can you hit the play button? And then by the time they hit the play button, your stick's in the right spot. You're like, the game moves a little faster than this pause button allows it to play. But I think video is a big reason why creativity's out of it, because defensively, like there's so much structure that can be put into the game. You know, like there's less space to exploit. Do you agree with that?
I do, and also the analytics that they see. How much the guys skate, how fast they go, you know what I mean? And then even like it wasn't in my era, but like the video that changed. Like I remember Todd Woodcroft when he was a video coach, when Jacques was here. In his video room, you had maybe 15 those small TVs. Each small TV was probably 100 pounds, and with the VHS, you know, him rolling huge TV into the locker room at parade, and Jacques had his remote and fast forwarded and playing. You know, it was hilarious. But I give credit to Jacques in those days where there were no videos, no iPads on a bench. How he knew how to outcoach the other coach in third period. And we have won so many one-goal games where I give credit to Jacques, the way he saw the game, the way he knew how to change something in order to try to beat the other team. And when I'm getting asked questions, who was favorite or best coach I've ever had, I say it was Jacques Lemaire.
You know, there's been a handful of guys that kind of second that notion where they respect and enjoyed their time with Jacques. And despite the fact, like to the fans, I was a fan at the time, that it seemed like it was a trap, no fun kind of style of the game. You're going to win 3-2, but the guys that played for him really appreciate his knowledge and what he did for them as players.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was a defensive guy, and I came to the league and to training camp, and he tells me, oh, if you're going to play this way, you're not going to play. So obviously I had to adjust and play my part defensively, and then he lets me do my thing offensively. And with the trap system, I still put up quite a few goals, quite a few points, and we just knew how to beat the other team by one goal. Obviously, maybe some teams hated it, obviously, and sometimes the game wasn't as attractive, but it worked for us with pretty much no superstars, with the payroll of a few $1 million.
Yeah. And
it worked for us, and we had the fan support, and we made pretty much chicken salad out of chicken shit.
So with creativity, like how do you find the breakaways? You know, like you found ways to be creative offensively in those spots. Like what were you looking for? And then like creatively, what are you looking for when you finish? Like 5-hole on the goal is like you have a favorite spot? Like
yeah, I mean, like when the penalty shots started after a tie game or after overtime,
shootout, yeah,
or shootout, yeah, my stats were horrible. I couldn't score because I don't know. I just had too much to think. You know, when you have a guy chasing chasing you and you go on a breakaway during the game, it just seems like an instinct. It just seems that you see an open spot, and I try to really work on the quickness of the shot, and it worked on the breakaway during the games. During the shootout, my stats were just horrible, and I really try to work on my shot during the game and try to surprise. I always say just try to surprise also myself when I shoot, and when I do that, everybody else will be surprised.
You'll Danny Healy, if I don't know where it's going, nobody knows where it's going.
Yeah, so that worked for me, and you know, when I played in Europe, you had so much time, and now you don't really have time to think out there in terms of slap shots or anything. So I barely scored any goals on slap shots, sometimes on power play one-timers, but mostly wrist shots, and because you don't really have time.
I was going to ask, you were such a great playoff performer. You had 17 points on the 0-3 run that is really the furthest this franchise has ever gone. And then with the Kings, when you won the Cup, you led the playoffs with 14 goals. What advice or what was happening with those teams in the playoffs for a franchise that's trying to break through? And you know, what did you learn, and what was different for you with playoff hockey, because you were really a gamer?
Well, I've had good stats, like you mentioned, also, you know, where I was supposed to put up points against. We have a really good team playing first round against Colorado. I couldn't score for, you know, I had so many chances, couldn't score. But I think it's just, we all know that the game elevates next two levels in playoffs. And it's just a matter of getting to areas where might not be too comfortable, you know, getting to areas, because also the goals are scored in playoffs are in front of the net. You know, you don't really have a whole lot of pretty goals. You have ugly goals, and you just have to be willing to get to those areas where the goals are scored. Like I know in LA, it wasn't young Marian Gaborik where I had, you know, the legs where I had when I was playing in mini. So I had to get in those areas where the goals are scored, the dirty areas in front of the net, and get beat up a little bit, and just find a way. And that's also give credit to my teammates, whether it was, you know, Bruno, then Zoltak, or some other guys in the playoff run in 2003, and then Kopitar. Obviously, we had great players: Carter, Richards, Stoll, Brown. So it's a team game, and you just have to be willing to get to those areas where the goals are scored.
Are you excited? Tonight we brought these retro jerseys out the first time. I'm curious when they were released, if you had people texting you, and I know Ralston was getting it from his kids and stuff, but going back into the building, you know, I think the goal song, you know, might be different, and they're going to bring it back to kind of how it was. What are you excited to be out there tonight and take a look at this? Yeah,
I mean, I'm very excited. It's can't believe it's 25 years. It seems like a year or two ago where we came down here, and then the arena, I think it just got changed last year, the name, but the rink is so beautiful, and other rinks that were built later were not as good as this rink, and I really loved going here, and it just worked perfectly for everyone, and I'm just happy to see, you know, a full house like it was when I was playing here. So should be fun. Should be a lot of goosebumps.
I bet you had about 100 bobbleheads in your life. So this bobblehead. I'm trying to. I don't know.
Find me, huh?
What's going on here? I mean, is this? Did you ever have a little dirty mustache like that? I mean, what era is that? Are we? Is that?
I don't know.
Is that your brother?
I think I have too much hair there,
and it's not frosted.
It's a lot of hair for a smaller head. I can tell you that much.
But, and you're Tanner. You know, you look like you've been at an F1 race every week or something.
Yeah. I have the mole, which is a signature.
Okay, so they got the mole.
Yeah, they got the mole.
The teeth look good.
Yeah, and I'm a lefty, which is good. They
got that right.
They got that right. No, it's obviously. I'm very honored that they such a thing, and just bringing us here. Butch, Steph, and Rolly really appreciate it. So. It's always great to come back here.
I got a couple of style questions for you, bringing up the 25 anniversary jersey. I was perusing through your Instagram page, and I don't think I noticed you wearing the same pair of shoes in any photo. So what does the shoe closet look like for you?
I don't know.
It's like DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot of shoes. I don't know. I don't go shopping a lot, but when I go, I go.
You do damage.
But... yeah, I don't know. It's just trying to enjoy it.
Oh, you look good. You look good. You got great style. Whether that's you picked it up back home, maybe here in Minnesota.
not here in Minnesota.
Maybe LA, LA or New York. One of those other stops. I'm not sure, but
I wish he was wearing his jacket.
Yeah.
He looks like he just came in from Saint Tropez. Hey, I don't know what happened.
I got another one because it looks like it's a hobby of yours. So I played with Teemu Selanne too, and everything this guy did was fast. Like he skated fast, he drove fast, he had fast cars. In the summers, he wanted to race vehicles. He could put his gear on faster than everybody. Like literally everything this guy did was fast. And I think you're probably cut from the same cloth. Like, are you just naturally built for speed? Like you skate fast, like you're into F1. Like is everything about you just love pace?
Yeah, I love, Formula One. I've been a fan since I was a little kid. And when you have opportunity to get nice cars, I say, why not? I really enjoy it. I had a chance to go on a track as well. And I just enjoy Sunday rides when it's nice weather out there. And I also,
fast Sunday rides.
Yeah, within a speed limit, obviously.
Wink, wink.
But I also had a chance to fly in a MiG-21 fighter jet, which was unbelievable experience. And I just like adrenaline. It's not like I would jump with a parachute. I don't know about that. But in terms of these G-force situations, I really love it.
What's the best car you've had?
I think 918 Spider Porsche. I still have that. Yeah.
So our boy Tony Martinez downstairs, who works in the loading dock, told me a story on my way up here that he accidentally, one of his guys spilled some sunflower seeds in one of your fast cars, so he had to go get it detailed to get it cleaned up.
I don't know this. If I would have known, probably I would not be happy. But I've had some cool cars when I was playing here, and obviously wouldn't be able to drive it all year round because we all know how the weather gets here. But when I had a chance, I try to drive it.
There's another good story because there's a car wash right down the road, and they'd bring the car to get washed all the time. Well, they just kind of had a tab going, and then they sent the tab to Doug Risebrough, so he ended up having to pay your car wash tab. So that was great. Well done. But yeah, that's cool.
It seems like you know Zuki a little bit, and I'm curious, have you watched Kaprizov at all? Because for the fans, you were kind of a Ferrari. I think 97 is kind of really the next player we've had that brings people out of the seats the way you used to. Have you watched Kirill play at all, and what do you make of his game?
Yeah, I think he's unbelievable talent. I mean, I got to know him just now. We talked a little bit, and he seems like a really nice guy. And I asked around too, like, how is Kirill? And everybody is just praising him. He works hard. He's a great guy in the locker room. He just learn English very fast, and seems like they love him here, and that's what you need. And on the ice, he's been stellar. I mean, you know how much skill he has. He seems like he wants to win, and that's what you need. And I think with Zook, when he comes back, I think they have been playing very well together. So. Yeah, it's a good combo, and it's good for him that signing that big deal, and I believe that it's going to work for both sides.
Totally.
All right, cool. I tell you what, appreciate you stopping by. Pleasure, fun to chat with you. Yeah, you're a fun guy, interesting guy. I don't have anything else, but can you, if you're
no, man.
this is a blast.
Oh, I did have one thing I got to get your reaction to. This is I'm a big fan of hockey here. and I want to just know what era this was. This is spectacular.
Oh my God, that's just brutal, man.
That is so good. I don't know.
Why are you doing this?
What kind of necklace is that?
I don't know.
What team
Ladislav? I remember Ladislav Nagy used to always make fun of that necklace because he said, like, in old classic tops, you had like that little chain with the cover that covers the thing. So he always made fun of me that if I cut the chain and put it around my neck. But that's from Dukla Trenching days where I just decided for some reason to have a longer hair, and it was brutal.
Well, you've come a long way. You're like James Bond now, so I think we're worked out just fine for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool, I appreciate it. Yep, have fun tonight.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Peace.